Hey everyone, do you guys hear me? Do you hear me? You hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So,
Hello.
hello.
Good evening.
Hello, Dory.
Yeah, Jay, your bad internet vibe
Yeah,
was taken by Wajah.
don't even say it. Yeah, don't even say it.
He's infected now. There was a slight.
Yeah, was I audible?
Yeah, now you're there. Yeah.
Okay. I think if any other device is using audio, then when you turn on this call, it doesn't pick up audio. So you have to close everything else. Anything other than this browser, if it's using audio, then it doesn't pick up.
So now you solved it, and
yes.
that other man there, he didn't hear what you were saying. That's good.
Sorry, who wasn't able to hear?
You just explained what you should do when it's not working, and he didn't hear it. Jay, can you repeat?
Yeah. So what I was saying, Baijan, you can hear, right?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah. So what I was saying was
wait, before we go there, do I want to hear it?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
It was how to fix it when it doesn't work, and he was just explaining. You pulled off your headphone like, I don't want to hear this.
I was saying that if you've opened the browser and there's anything else other than the browser which is using the audio, then it just wouldn't pick up the audio. So it's important that in my case, I closed everything else and then reopened it and it worked.
That's always the best in Windows. If something don't work, just restart it.
Yeah. The first troubleshooting step.
No, 16 years, and that's what they say. I mean, 16 years of IT education and restart your computer as a solution to everything.
Yeah. Have you tried turning it off and on again? Is the first question always.
Yeah, because the Linux server.
And if it is working, don't touch it.
Yeah, indeed. And the Linux server, I was looking at it today. It's still running, all memory available, everything okay. It's already for months and months. With the Windows VPS hosting, they even give you the tip. Yeah, restart every weekend your VPS for the trading. That way, it's safe that your system is always working. That's so strange.
Yeah, I'm close ready to invite a few of you to beta test my service. I'm nearly ready. I already invited Reaver, but he hadn't time to test. But yeah, soon there will come something available for everyone.
Cool.
I'm also working on something, but it's not a hosting server. It's something different.
A football team.
Is it a Lambo for us?
No. It's not. It's a better way to track your trades and improve it, basically.
Cool. That's yeah.
I see there's a new setup for Bart, like a very nice background.
Now I'll sit like that. Then you see the dry flowers and not the junk behind my back. But no, the thing is, I actually wanted to buy a third screen, and because my laptop was always before the other one, so I just moved it to the side, and now I have 3 screens without buying one. That's the best deal.
So are you fully back in front of your computer, or still busy with the stuff that you were busy with?
still busy with the stuff I was busy with, but it's also behind my computer. So yeah, no, still the worst part is over, and I could spend some time to my addiction and started backtesting a few things the last couple of days, but I think I understood what you were talking about, Jay, like a few months ago. Like, yeah, but I have such a high portfolio percentage because my EAs turn, or they run like 6 or 7 or 8% per year. And I said, but that's not high. But the fact that it's actually, let's assume that it's a 100K account, the fact that maybe 10 EAs are sharing the same 100,000 euros or dollars, and that they're not too much correlated, and that they don't hinder each other, then they're actually sharing the capital. And if you keep your margin well, then actually these profit, they add up. Is that the thing?
Exactly. No, I mean,
the adding up is that's so interesting. Yeah.
No, because I mean, you can think of it in two different ways. Let's say if it's a 100,000 euro account, and I have been sharing this separate account that I've made on a scalping year for the last 5 months, and that's at 82% right now in 5 months and a few days. One way could be is like you put 100,000 euros in just one scalping year, and then with the grace of God, and if the gods of forex are kind upon you, you have 80% return. And let's say if that continues, by the end of the year, you're probably going to have, I don't know, 200% return because it compounds. But then you're banking, or you're putting all your eggs in one basket. You're banking on the scalping year to continue to perform how it has been performing for the last 5 months, which it might not. It might be. I mean, in fact, by the end of last week, I did a live broadcast for 2 hours, and the year was 82%. I think it was Thursday, and Friday it took two stop loss hits and went down to 72%, or 74%, 75%, and then I think the beginning of the June was continuously, I think, 3 stop loss hits until so far. Now it has come back again and recovered back again to 82, 83%. But those periods come when you have a sudden drop of 6-8% before it starts.
But if it's only 1/10 of your portfolio, then that's nice. I mean, or it's not a problem at all. The thing is, of course, in the worst case, but probably that never happens, is that your 10 EAs, they get an 8% drawdown exactly at the same moment. But when is that happening? So if only one comes, then it's like 80% down, but just the division or the
Exactly, and this is where I was going. So that's one scenario. Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, in my normal portfolio, that EA is not making 82% so far. It's probably around, I think it's around 15%. But then at the same time, and I'm only going to talk about the ones that I've so far shared. So on the other hand, the Bollinger RSI, that's somewhere around 7%. But these are so unrelated to each other that altogether they are at 22%. So you can imagine, okay, well, that's 2 years making 22%, but they don't depend on each other. So one is performing and the other doesn't. Mm-hmm. Then the Ichimoku, which I think I shared the very early code 2.5, 3 years ago on the previous channel. That one with the modifications that I've put in, which I will share eventually when I get around to it. I think, if I remember correctly, that's around 7%, 5 months. So now and this is where it is a little bit difficult on YouTube, which is because if you say like, okay, well, my EA has made 7% in 5 months. Like, yeah, boo says who? Like, 7%? But then if you talk about 12 EAs, which are making roughly 5%, 6%, then altogether they add up to 50, 60, which then you can argue the case that, look, I mean, scalping EA alone has made 82%, so why not use that? Like, yeah, fine, you can. But then on the other hand, I I have a position where it's much more diversified. So even if scalping year tanks tomorrow, okay, maybe it will take me down from whatever 14-15% it is right now. By the end of the year, it's -5. One, it's not going to go to -50 because even during the extremely good days, the risk percentages and the portfolio management is such that it's 14%. So compare it to 82%, it needs to go down 82% and then another 82% to take me down to like 14% negative on the actual portfolio. But then what compensates is the fact that there are many, many others. I think currently in the last 5 months, so far in the year, out of the 14, in fact now there are 15, I think 11 have made profit so far, ranging between 2% and 14%. Scalping year by far the best. And 3 of them are slightly below negative. But this is and this is where I continuously say this in different video calls. Like, okay, well, you have these 2 ways. You can try and perfect an year because there are so many suggestions I still get on the scalping year that look, if you put dynamic this or this or this, it might improve. Yeah, fine. Maybe I can spend my time on perfecting something which is maybe 80% there. But it does okay. I think the amount of effort is going to take me to improve upon it by 5%. I can potentially maybe try and end up with 2 new years in the portfolio, which maybe is a better idea to go.
And reduce the risk.
And reduce the risk.
That's the thing. Because indeed, just the spread risk among these set of 10 or 12 or 14 EAs, that's a huge thing. But just the fact, I had the discussion with because mathematically I do understand it, and like even months ago I had a discussion with ChatGPT, and he said no, it doesn't add up, and I said this time really just listen. I mean, if it's really sharing the same capital and it's not running in front of each other and it's not correlated, it just adds up. And he said, yeah, actually you're right. And then I said, yeah, I hope you're not just saying yes to me because I said so, but then indeed he started calculating and he could see it himself. So in that sense, so the last few days I've been just, because that's really exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, finding 10 EAs that only do 10%
a year.
That's feasible.
Yes.
I mean, and the thing is, you pull down your risk so far, but you're still doubling your account. I mean, I'm not going for any grid now.
No, this is what for example I'm seeing. I mean, Pawn has been extremely active, developing years after years, and he's sharing so many of his results and Pawn wants to speak as well. He's been sharing so much of his results and it looks extremely exciting. It's like, look, I mean, every other week there is something new that he has put in the market and he's trying it. And I haven't spoken with him separately, but if I were speaking with him, I would be asking him this question. It's like, look, I mean, could you figure out a way to combine them together into one account where the correlation is not that high between them? If they're all working exactly the same way, then no, probably not the best idea. But if you have, for example, and I'll go back to my own EAs, I mean, the Ichimoku EA trades extremely different than the scalping EA, which trades extremely different than, let's say, the trend line breaks, which trends extremely different than the pivot point, which trends extremely different than the RSI Bollinger. And then I have another one, which is mean reversion on, I call it turbo. That one has been doing extremely well for the last, God knows, like 7-8 years. If you have extremely different EAs, then one of the things which I don't have now is that on any Sunday, I see that everything has gone wrong. Like, yeah, fine, 5 of them were doing good, 4 of them were not doing so good, 3 of them were like hanging around, but they are so unrelated to each other. If it was just a scalping year, I would be very worried. Or not worried, but at least I will be checking every day. Like, oh, where is it? Where is it? And one of the things which also, I mean, after so many years, I'm noticing again, is that last week when I was doing the live broadcast and the US 30 position opened up, to my eyes, it looked like, oh, it's a bad entry. Oh, it's going to hit the stop loss. And I was thinking like, yeah, I mean, with a 90% chance, what's the chance that, okay, well, this is the moment I open up the broadcast, the first trade that's going to hit the stop loss. And I was very tempted to say, okay, I'll just move the stop loss as soon as it goes into, or I'll close the position manually. So those manual urges are still in me, despite like 5 years. And this is one of the things which is good for me now with all the years which are in the, and also this YouTube, because it keeps me so far away from the normal portfolio. that besides Saturday and Sunday, I really do not find the time to even take a look. Which is also like, okay, fine. I mean, yeah, and they're working on like 0.4, 0.3, 0.2 percentage risk profile with drawdown controls and other stuff. So it's like, yeah, what's the chance that every one of them, all 14 of them? So this is where I see the strength in diversification and portfolio building.
And that's now for the first time I really thought, okay, but this is really feasible. I mean, finding those, because I had some EAs running from Wim that I know from Malta, and they're actually, you followed it at some time. They're doing quite okay, but indeed, I'm still using these. Then indeed the scalper and the Bollinger Band, the scalper and it's running for a while already. The Bollinger Band I didn't start it yet, and so now, because I'm really sorry, Jay, I'm not running over, but I quickly take a look at Rene Balkis EAs just to find some extra to have, just to get to that portfolio of 10 or more, because this is the first time I really felt, okay, but with that set in place, I would really risk a lot more money of my own in that, because it feels, that it was the first time that I really calmed down, even in my head, like, okay, but that's really safe. I mean, one EA of the 10 that only does a drawdown of 3 or 4 or 5% on everything. What's happening? Nothing.
And look, I mean, after all these years, I still look around other people as well on the internet as well, on YouTube. I mean, people are now, because now it's like 7,000 subscribers on one place and then 14,000. So a lot of people send emails to me as well with their EAs, like, this is what I have from somewhere. And some of them might not work. But maybe on an off chance that, okay, if I look through the logic of it, maybe I can come up with something which changes the behavior of this thing, or some of the earlier ideas that I have already put in my portfolio, maybe combining those with some. And coming back to the, it's like, okay. And coming back to the, like Rene Balkis, I mean, I look at his channel as well from time to time. So, and also, I mean, there is this gentleman by the name, what's his channel name? Trustful something, can't remember. Trustful Trading. That guy also has some like good stuff there. I mean, maybe he's not sharing all the years, but he does do some stuff which, okay, it can spark thinking. And then there's Forest Tree, and like a couple of good people who are sharing their stuff on the YouTube. I'm not against them, like, okay, well, I mean, fine, Rene Balkis. I'll say it loud. I'll put it in a link in my description as well. It's like, good guy. Now, you're not gonna agree with everything he says. You might not agree with everything that he puts forward or the way that he's now, because initially he was doing it in a different way and now he's moving in a different direction. You might not agree with it fully, but is there nothing that you can take away from him? And if there is one, I would look at it and try and take it. Even honestly speaking, and I'll say it like very openly, I've never used panels because I've never needed panels. I don't like to look at panels. But when I was doing the prop firm version, I needed a panel. So I looked around on YouTube, like, okay, well, does somebody have a panel and how did they create it? And I actually found it on Trustful Trading. The entire panel is he built it. And I'm very happy to proudly copy it. Exactly the same way as I'm extremely happy if people are looking at my videos and coding from it and then creating something different. I mean, right now there is on YouTube, there was some comments which I just saw. It's like somebody was saying that people are copying my course. Yeah, good. I'm very happy that they are actually coding it. What I don't like is that people can go to the store and download it and then sell. That's very difficult to swallow. But happy days, download it, change something. And maybe one of those days, if you are also uploading it on YouTube as your own, fine, it is your own. I mean, none of my stuff is my own. I learned it from somewhere. And maybe one of those days, I'll actually find some YouTube channel which has made a modification, let's say, to my RSI and Bollinger EA, and made it even better. And I'll take it from him, which is like, yeah, good. I mean, happy. And this is how we can all, the entire retail trading industry can actually fight against this entire like plethora of LPs and brokers and this, who are all against us, tightening the noose. So yeah, take everything that you can find everywhere. Even if you don't agree with him overall, there's always something which you can take from someone.
Yeah, and Pawn's hand is tired of.
Yes, tired of. Sorry, Pawn. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that with all the EA development, I came when I started. I was also obsessed by putting filters on all kind of stuff and looking what happens and overcomplicate things and try to implement much complicated systems that in the end were a little bit too overfitted. And with the current development, I try to keep things as simple as possible, and that's often the best thing you can do, I would say. If you code something, just try not to overcomplicate it. And I'm also for diversification, but on the other hand, I also like if somebody is obsessed with one instrument, like Reaver with the USD GPY, or I am with gold right now. But yeah, generally, I just wanted to point out that keeping things simple is often the better way to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a statement for like the discussion half an hour ago. So sorry, it's if it's a little bit unrelated, maybe no, but this is what I wanted to say to the discussion. Yeah.
And they're very good points. I mean, and also I saw those comments in the channel as well, where focusing on one instrument and how it can help, which I definitely agree with and subscribe to the entire idea. The only difference I would say is if you actively sit in front of the screen and monitor stuff and read some stuff, better to dedicate your focus to one instrument, so to get to know it well. But if you want to go in a direction where eventually you want to only look at your things from Sunday to Sunday, then I don't know if it creates much difference, one, and secondly, then I would love to diversify, because then I'm not dependent on one. But I truly believe, I mean, if you're manual trading or if you are attempting to even write something, better to focus on one instrument, because you can know the nuances of that instrument much better rather than looking at 15 different instruments.
I'm in the game now for, I don't know, maybe 1.5 years or something. And in the beginning I was really overwhelmed by all the instruments and what to trade, and I had respect before every currency and the impacts that any news could have, and everything was just too much. So especially maybe as a tip for beginners is not to try to master the complete forex market and world economy, but just to start with something small or focus on one thing where you get good at, and with time you get a feeling for the markets, and then you can start looking at other markets and get a feeling for them as well. But especially in the beginning, it can be a little bit overwhelming to try to just conquer the whole market and put something on some charts and wait that it works. So that's why I always tend to say people who have not so much experience to focus on simple things like, I don't know, indices and breakouts or stuff at the beginning, because it's a really simple concept. You can understand how to automate and how things work, and it's really simple because it's simple.
And also, I mean, in the same breath, one of the things which I'm also now enjoying in a way is initially it was just me and Pawn when we started the entire membership forum and Discord channels. And in the beginning, it was like, okay, well, when we were 50 people or 80 people, there was still a lot of it like, okay, well, how does this work? How does that work? How does this work? How does that work within a specific EA questions? But now what I see and I actually take delight in is like, okay, my role and all the years around what I have so far shared, they're not the primary focus of the Discord channel anymore. They're somewhere in the background where people can still post their results and ask questions or some set. But what I'm very happy to see is, for example, the Barbarian EA, which Reva would add. He has joined the call, so he will take us through. It's like, okay, well, where is he and what has he seen so far in the? Is those channels are becoming massively more active, and that's the entire idea behind the community, where we're all working on things and ideas keep pouring in. Now I see a few comments on HFTEA, for example. I mean, HFTEA, and I'll say it off topic a little bit, but just to address it. Like, yeah, I mean, look, I myself still haven't fully tested it. But I saw the code, they looked very interesting. And in all the other videos, people keep saying that, okay, well, we want to try it with you. So don't wait for 6 months until you have figured something out, or if you don't end up figuring anything out and it goes in the bin, share it. Okay, fine, here we go. Have at it. But some of the ideas around even the HFT are now pouring in different channels. Last week, I had that thought of, what if we combine with the HFT, the scalping trailing stop? Maybe that does something. And then somebody else posts something else, and then somebody else has another idea. But that's the strength of coming together and working together on things, because one brain can think. How much can one brain think? Put together 10 people who are thinking about the same thing, and maybe all of the ideas are going to go in the bin in the end. One, that, and secondly, is like one of the things which I now feel and very happy about it is that now I have a place where I can post my ideas and other people start working on it if I don't have time. So when I posted that, okay, well, let's combine, maybe we can combine the scalping EA trailing profile with the HFT and let's see what happens. And I'm pretty sure somebody probably has picked it up. I think Milan commented on that as well. I haven't checked over the last 2-3 days. But it's not just me now. It's one idea, somebody else is working on that, somebody else is working on that. And same is for, say, Reve, what he's working on stuff, Pawn is working on stuff, Bart, when he has a little bit more time, will be also putting in a lot of his stuff. And then together we can pick up a piece from here, a piece from there, a piece from there, some idea from here, some idea from there. And then...
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely inspiring. Your HFT was around my head, and I wasn't successful with it, and I coded it, and I just took some ideas from it and implemented it in my own way and experimenting with it. So it's very inspiring to see things, even if they don't work out. If you have the right mindset and not just come to the Discord and, hey, where's set file, where's Lambo. But if you are willing to get inspired and to work on things, then it's a really cool community. So from that point, the HFT was really setting me on fire in terms of coding stuff and trying things out, and yeah, it's really fun.
And it's a new idea. I mean, I hadn't ever tried anything like that before, and I'm also very patiently waiting for a period where, because it's summer holidays, so my wife and my son has gone to Kashmir for the next 2 days. My daughter is still here, but she is enjoying her freedom, and I'll probably start enjoying my freedom from Monday as well, because it's Muslim festival of Eid today, so we continue for the next 3 days with it. But from Monday, I'll probably start looking at the HFT myself as well. But I know that other people are also looking at it, and I will be able to pick up a few ideas from here, maybe a few from YouTube. And for the general public on YouTube, it's like, look, guys, I have 2 ways. One, I can share whatever I have, whatever I find interesting. I'll share it. Or the other alternate I have is, well, wait until I am fully 100% comfortable that, oh yeah, it works and I have tested it and I'm very comfortable to put it into my portfolio. But in that case, it's going to be very slow process, one. And secondly, I'll say it very loud. It's like my years are not going to make 200% in 5 months. They're not designed to make 1,000% in a month.
Okay, then I'm out.
Yeah, then let's be all be out. But they're going to be like, okay, RSI, Bollinger, for example. I mean, it did not take one trade during the month of May. Not one. So if you're looking for those kind of EAs, which are, I mean, and because I also see some comments where it's like, okay, well, I put the EA on the chart and 2 hours have passed and nothing has happened. And like, what? Like, yeah, I have an EA which has been sitting ducks for a month. But at the end of the year, I'll probably have like 14, 13% from it. And I'm extremely happy to have those 14% from it. And 10
but
other.
that's the thing. That's the thing that's I think really, really hard for the most people that don't have experience or don't put the work in it. They don't just have a feeling for the market. You don't get it if you're just seeking for the holy grail EA, and if you think you put something on the chart with the holy set file and then it just prints money. It doesn't work. And that's the misconception that many people have. I think that they don't take the time to even kind of conceptual understand
And
what are the markets doing and get a feeling for it. And if you don't have it, then you can't operate an expert advisor. I mean, you probably can if somebody makes an EA without inputs and updates everything that needs to be updated. So like absolutely, no-brainer EA maybe. But beside that, it just don't work that way. And I still don't understand that.
And also,
I feel that 90% of the people have this mindset that they don't have to put any effort and work into anything and just get money out of the market. And I don't get it how this mindset works, how this even can be real in their heads, so that they really think this can happen. In what world? I mean, it's
And honestly, if it was possible, I mean, there are 15,000 EAs on MQL marketplace as well. I mean, people would be becoming rich and will see them. Like, okay, yeah, I mean, we would see stories. Well, we do see stories, but I don't know how real they are. Of I downloaded this EA, and 3 months later, here I am in Monaco with 3 beautiful women and 5 beautiful cars outside. Trading is one of the most difficult things on the planet, and you can have a little bit of an edge, but a little bit of an edge is all you can have. And this goes back.
But that's enough.
That's enough. And that's enough in the sense that if one of your idea can make you 5% a year, go for 20 ideas rather than throwing that one good idea which is giving you 5-6% a year away and continue to chase something which is, I don't know if it's never going to happen, but very difficult to achieve.
Yeah, and this is actually based on 2 of the most fundamental principles in the world of finance. One is diversification, like you never put all your eggs in one basket. It doesn't matter how good a strategy you have or how well you know a specific individual instrument. The most important thing is to diversify. So that's one of the most important key principles in any case. And the second is, of course, that Baijan we keep going back to is the risk management part. It's like the risk and reward. The more you try to make money, the more risk you're taking, and then when things go south, they go south. So anyone who wants to make long-term good money has to like diversify and make sure that they're not taking excessive risk. And I think this is where, Baijan, I think the years that you've been sharing, and not just the years, what you've been talking about in all the calls as well. It's the same EA. 2 people can produce very different results with the same EA with the different risk settings. So I think this needs to be probably continued to be said meeting after meeting, that this is one of the most important things, because obviously we have new people coming in every week, so it's important to keep on re-emphasizing that.
And not just the new people who are joining these calls or coming to the channel, also the people who are watching this on YouTube, and people who will watch it probably like a year from now as well. As like look, if you, whatever I have, I share it in the videos. Now, if you still want to send me money to my bank account by going to the store and downloading, be my guest. I'm not gonna say to your generous gift, but do not take it as like, okay, well, here I'm taking this EA, so now it should give me what I want. There is still a lot of hard work, even if you have the EAs. I mean, after God knows how many years of managing portfolios, I still, at least on Sundays, have to sit down and look at the markets and look at the results or trades which have happened over the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and see it's like, okay, well, my intuition tells me this, my intuition tells me that. So those EAs, I mean, at least on my channel, I'm not gonna come. I'm very honest about it. The one which you will just plug it and forget it, and then 3 years later, let's compare our private jets. not gonna happen. Not coming. If
Without
you
work and effort, no success will come in life, in no business, and especially not in the trading world.
Not in the trading world. And also, I mean, I keep saying this, and we were talking about this in the last video as well. With the advancement of AI, it's going to become more and more and more difficult, because we do not have access to the kind of artificial intelligence those people will have, and the gap between us and them is going to continue to increase. And that's the second part, which is, you guys forget about the years. That's probably old news. AI.
So we're all looking at London. When is the next video, man?
Vajra told me last week or last time when we had, it's like, look, I mean, you deliberately put me on the spot. So this time around, I indirectly put him on the spot.
No, I think this month I will release a video. So like I made a promise in, I think, March or April. So this month I will release a video no matter what.
No, and I can also honestly and openly say, is like just before this call, 3-4 hours ago, me and Vajat, I mean, we were speaking for like 5 hours, 6 hours, Vajat.
Yeah.
And towards the end of the discussion, one of the things which I said to him was like, look, when are your videos coming? And he was like, look, Bhaijan, the direction that you have taken your channel, which is every month, where is my year? I want to see another year. I don't have those, so what am I supposed to put? Like boring AI stuff. It's like, okay, well, here are the possibilities. Who's gonna watch that? Your audience is, where is my year at? And my answer to him was like, potentially now, yes, maybe that's what. And one of the things is like, yeah, probably my fault, because if you put sugar out, you're gonna get a lot of flies and ants. So maybe what I'm putting is attracting that kind of a group, but what we need to balance it with is genuine technological stuff that, and my theme, or my entire how to best to say it, I wouldn't call it vision, but my aspiration is to have a place where if you want to know about what you need to know to make a change in your life, that's the place you will get it. Whether it's AI, and it's not related to trading, this is how you can do it in this field, this is how you can do it in that field. But on your financial progress and improving your life in that way, from technology side, these are the key things which you should be looking at, you should be learning, and honestly devoting a lot of time in. I would say it again, I said it last time as well, in 5 to 10 years time, if you do not fully embrace the AI, you will be completely redundant. That's coming.
Yeah, and I want to just touch upon both the points that you mentioned, Baijan. The first one was regarding the slightest of competitive edge. And that's the thing that probably once we do go more deeper into the world of AI, then it's like even that slightest of edge will start to go away. So that's one thing. And the other thing that you mentioned about our discussion that we were having earlier in the day. So the reason that I felt that, if we're having videos like this EA has a certain percent of return, this, that, and then I feel that when it comes to the AI ML journey, it's a slightly longer journey in the sense that unless people don't fully understand or grasp the concepts of machine learning, which will obviously take many videos, it's a long journey, the results wouldn't be there. And it wouldn't just be about like making one video where it's you watch this video from the beginning to the end, and at the end of the video you will have something. It will be a long journey. So that's why I felt that would it make sense. But after today's conversation with you, I do realize that no harm in putting it out there, and let's see what the reaction is. And obviously in the comments as well on the YouTube, some people are saying that they do want to watch those videos, so yeah, why not?
Yeah, and I think
big advantages. Yeah, the big advantage is that if they're asking for set files, you can really say, nah, no set files here.
I'm really excited how all this AI stuff is going in the future, because what I see right now is that they try to gatekeep everything. Every AI player right now tries to be more expensive than the other, and yeah, they try to monetize on stuff on the current state, and yeah, I think there will be some really bad gatekeeping stuff going on in the near future, so that if you don't pay $200 or more per month, then you just can't use it in a good way. Because what I see right now is that if you ask the AI to do some tasks, then it nearly does it perfect, and it does some error. And if you put that error out, then it consumes all its tokens you have left, even if you have the paid model, so that in the end, yeah, you have to pay more to get the result. And that's the trend that I see right now. And I'm really curious how this is going to end up, because most of us won't have the hardware to run the models ourselves, even if some good of them are open source. But yeah, the big firms right now are going in a direction I don't really like, but we will see how this continues. But I'm pretty sure that AI will be a thing that everybody can learn and use in like 5 years. I think it is like everything. If you don't have money, you can't use it in a way that is effective in a few years from now on, I think.
Yeah, that's actually pretty true, but I feel that there are two kinds of machine learning levels or AI levels. One is one that you're talking about where you have tokens and you have very deep and complex neural networks that do very complex tasks like ChatGPT. Whereas on the other hand, there are some auto machine learning models as well, which are relatively easier. They're relatively they don't need as many resources, like we can run it on normal PCs as well, and they do go like 80-90% of the distance. So when it comes to like the pure AI, when we're talking about like creating AI models and not using the ones that are already there, that's still something that you're right, it needs a lot of resources. But for most of us, for our everyday use, we probably don't need to go to that level. We can very easily utilize the algorithms that exist, and they don't need all the learning from scratch. And it's sort of like using Excel. I would give that example, that the infrastructure, the model is there, and we're just utilizing it to make the best use of it, and which obviously definitely applies to trading as well. But you're right in the sense that where we're talking about the actual machine learning models, where we're creating the neural networks from scratch, it is very resource extensive.
One thing which comes to my mind is, before we can get to that level where we could potentially have a lot of resources to actually build AI models ourselves, the journey to it always starts with small steps of slowly and gradually using it, understanding it, learning it. The same way as, for example, PowerPoint presentations or Microsoft Excel. Learning to use Microsoft Excel, that's much more critical probably for everyday life than learning how the Excel works in the background. And eventually, even if you want to go in that direction, you first have to start with understanding the Excel interface. But I'm super worried would be the wrong word. But if you want to, me and Vajat, and we always discuss this, if we want to continue in the path that we have taken, we can't leave AI on the side. It's just probably gonna be not possible in the next 5 years. I mean, why would my Chinese investor not use the AI stuff and still continue to use me for their portfolio management? Why would they?
Yeah, I agree in parts of your argument. Of course, it's nothing you can leave completely aside and just ignore it, like as if it wouldn't not exist. But I'm not sure if it's that important or that big as it is promoted right now, or that substantial. Because I mean, as I said in the previous statement, I think keeping things simple is often a good way, and I don't know, I have 1 or 2 EAs that are really, really simple and do nothing than reading price action, and this will always work in every market, every time, and without the even in 10 years. So I half agree on your argument. Yeah.
Yeah, because the thing is, I've been thinking about that a lot too, and probably we'll end up somewhere in the middle. But in the end, if the euro and the dollar still exist, because that's another question. But if I need to buy dollars to buy my supplier in South Korea, in our case, I just need to buy them. I mean, there is still a real economy that needs to turn too, and the trading, it tries to surf the waves, and yes, maybe the big financials, they could have tools, AI tools, to almost even manipulate, but the thing is, the real economy still needs to run, and at a certain moment I need dollars, and it needs to be at quite an okay price, because otherwise I won't do it and there won't be an economy anymore, or I'll pay with Bitcoin or anything. So the thing is, there will always be a bid and an ask part, and the market will be made. So in that sense, the traders, they, if they want to ride the waves, they should still keep the system of the waves. Otherwise, there won't be any surfing.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. But in a way, I mean, this is to keep me motivated and Vajad motivated as well, which is I need a lot of motivation too.
If you look at it from that perspective, yes, I mean, there will always be supply and demand of specific currencies, let's say dollar. But then whoever can predict the demand better will have the edge. So that person will be able to surf the waves better. And some players would be playing catch up, and others would be like would be the ones taking advantage of the opportunities. So that would still need to be seen. Like, I'm pretty sure when the first time computers arrived and first time Excel and charting tools arrived, the people who were using those charts had a significant edge over people who were not. And that would probably continue to happen as technologies evolve over the next 10, 12, 13, 15, 20 years.
Yeah, but I understand, and they will have that edge, and they can collect the margins, or even big numbers, whatever. But the thing is, we sometimes think that traders pay good traders are paid by the bad moves of bad traders. But the thing is, today I need those dollars, so I just buy them, and if the price is good or bad, maybe I lost €1,000 or $1,000, whatever, compared to if I would have bought them 2 weeks ago or within 2 weeks, and it is actually the real economy people, the business people, who are paying maybe a little bit too much or not enough, or you can do a good thing. I mean, I try to, if the dollar is coming at a good level, I try to already hedge at those moments. I try to hedge the dollar, so that at the moment that I need them, that I had a good price. But even there, I make some, of course I make judgment mistakes, and it's a little bit too early, a little bit too late. So in that sense, yeah, it's we'll see.
I think might be a good time to move to Reve, who will want to share with us his stuff that he has so far shared, and a brief summary of what he has seen so far. And I'm seeing on YouTube, after all this discussion of this and that, the comments are, well, we came here for the Barbarian EA. So
Stop talking nonsense. Come to the interesting part. Where's the set file?
Where's the set file at? Yeah, where is my EA? Reve, over to you.
Thanks. I will listen to your comments. And yeah, Barbarian. Yeah. Actually, I like the name.
Me too. I love the name.
Open. Yeah, try to open. I see that image that I generated with AI and see what the heck, what is this? Yeah. So I try, update every, small steps. But I think for this week I need to do something more and see the behavior of this EA in the real condition for the next week.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see. Let me show. We have a dark mode in 5. Finally. I think it could be this one. Yes. Yeah, this one. So, I change it to dark mode and everything looks new for me.
Is this a new feature?
Yeah, it asked me to update and I did it. I just did it.
I had not the courage to do so because I was afraid of bugs and just wait a week and see what the people say. But very brave.
I'm a risky person. And I just did it to see what happened. Yeah, look nice actually.
Yeah, I like it. It looks really nice.
Yeah. So this is the result that I just shared.
Oh.
And except these two.
Yeah. But before we go there, I love this Barbarian algorithm. Genghis Khan in the corner.
Yeah.
Just imagine the Barbarian going with the axe to the bureaus of the brokers and getting all hacked down.
I think it's laughable. You see this, person with these beers and eyes. Yeah. I think the most important thing that I have to actually answer about is logic, and I think I have to explain it again with the trading view. Change to trading view. Where is that? Trading view. Here. Oh no, you can't see the trading view or not. You can see it?
Yeah, we can.
Oh, okay. Let me where's okay, this one. So I explained it, and I think I explained again, but it's okay. The whole thing, whole logic, it's not a very unique one. It's a thing that I think every gurus, every those type of mastering class try to explain this type of market structure or market bias. Any name that you can.
Reve, if I may interrupt, I don't know if your microphone, if it can be adjusted, because your voice is breaking a lot.
Yeah, it's really crackling sound somehow. Like it's.
Let me mute for a second. I just fix it now.
Do you guys like the music in the background?
What music?
But you can't hear the music.
You can only hear it on YouTube.
Ah, okay. No, okay. I don't hear it.
Ah.
Yeah, I don't hear any music either.
It's a
Are those videos turning true, Baijan? the videos that you were making of you hearing voices or something.
Yeah,
I can hear the voices in my head.
look, I mean, this has now become an ongoing joke in my house about my onset of dementia.
Yeah, but it's starting so early. But anyway, I hope the music is nice, at least.
Rock mix.
Sorry, guys. Is it okay now?
Seems not to be really better. But maybe say something?
Actually, I don't know what is the issue, but I did my best.
Okay, maybe what you can do, Reve, is speak a little bit slowly, because there is a little bit of disturbance. So then we're able to at least understand. And if we don't understand something, we'll ask.
Yeah. Is it okay now?
It's better.
Is it? Yeah. Let me put your. This is it. Like now. Okay. So the sharing is off, I guess. Yeah. Okay. So back to this, and let me turn this off. And yeah, logic is very simple, and it's based on the leg and based on closed candle. For example, we have a closed candle here, and this one, a closed candle below the previous low, and we have a closed candle above the high, the previous high. So this is the new leg, and as you can see, there is a changing this line. Let me show you here, and it goes at this point. So you continue this line until the new form of leg appears. And as you can see, all of these high lines extended. Why? Because none of these candles perfectly above the last high. So this one is the perfect one, and then you can see these lines change to here. This is the whole logic.
Yeah.
It's very simple. As you can see, this is the new leg, and this is the leg, and as you can see, it's starting from here, the highest point after this candle here, and then it will end with this candle, because none of these candles goes above the high. So this is the candle that confirms leg. And you can do this with minor one, but I don't like them because they're too noisy. But as you can see, all of these noises happen in, and you can, and you can visualize your ranging market with this simple tool, as you can see here, or and the EA put a little complex logic trace actually, but it's based on these levels. As you can see, the last, not the last, yes, a month ago. The version that I with you, Jay, it opened any trades in these highs,
Mhm.
and it's very, you know, messy trades. It has a potential actually, but I try to make, make more specific trades. For example, now it only trades two. For example, here, if we, we have a sell here and a buy here. If this sell try to continue, it's only about two trades, and it stops until new leg forms. Okay, so this is the whole logic, and it's very simple. I try to change something, but I think I have to more results, more time to see how it acts actually. But you have this system, you have this indicator. I converted from TradingView to MT5, and I guess it's kind of filter for ranging market, and I guess we can make new strategy based on this edge, and yeah, that's it. So
Yeah. And in your testing so far, you have been using it on the demo account now?
yeah,
What have been, yeah, maybe just share the results a little bit as well, so we can all have a bit of an idea of how it has been performing so far.
yeah. Let me share the MT5. Lost it here. Okay. This beautiful man. Here's the result, and as I said, this two trade code because it's a mistake. But as you can see, it's about 15. Yeah, and I know it went to 30, 35, but I expected to see these kind of losses. But I want to see how much of this profit gonna lose actually. And for now, it's okay based on what I expected. But we have to see, future weeks.
And you have been testing only on USD JPY or gold as well?
Me, actually, I like to test it on gold, but for now, I only focusing on UJ. But I saw that people testing, on too many assets, gold, GU, EU.
I will conduct some tests on gold because I love gold, and yeah, I think it can also work on gold because the characteristics of USD JPY and gold are pretty the same because they are both tend to trend. So yeah, I will give you some back tests or forward tests on that too.
Interesting. Yeah, the whole logic of the system based on this market bias and your TSL. And as I said multiple times, the TSL mechanism is very powerful because let me show you something about prop firm that I passed. I think, yeah, this one. This is the day that I always looking for a solution to make it steady. And I like this curve, and it's very similar to the reality because the signals that the core idea gave us is based on train meter that I think you see that train meter in the trading view, and it's huge. But I try to catch little profit based on the PSL, and this logic works actually because I wanted to try it on the prop firm, and that prop firm, very, very bad because slippage, because of the spread. Then I think if I change it to a decent one, like those prop firms that all of you know, I guess, I think it could be a good one for prop firms because I care about this number. I don't care actually, they care about this number, and it's a good one for a month, and it's the same as I tried for a real prop firm. For example, I can show the prop firm account. It's a MT4 actually. Let me change to MT4 here. This one. Yeah, this is it's a small account, but I like to, this amount of profit to see if they have a payout or not. But I don't care actually. The thing that I care is it work or not? Because this prop firm, reject payment, I can test another one. And I don't believe in prop firm at all, actually. But I believe them for a short-term strategy. You need to have investors, or you need to have a huge amount of money in a bank, or you need to gain your first initial balance from something like this prop firms. And I think my main focus all the years is based on these concepts that I brought.
Can we see the history here, David, just to have a bit of a look around? Okay, well,
yeah, this one actually train meter, because they did something very bad. The account that gave me for you, it's a commission free, but for evaluation, it's zero spread, and so I stop it for these real prop firm account. So I back to my normal trading style using train meter and catch very little trend with the same lot size. Just see that they have a payout or not. I don't have any plans actually. But the important things is the challenge, and I recently tried to contact with one of these prop firm to send them the details of the duration time, because they very sensitive to duration time of any trades, any open position, and your PSL actually work with them. And I guess I have to test it and see is it okay for them or not in the real world.
If you could go back to your MetaTrader 5.
Yeah, sure.
Just for the benefit of everyone who's listening to this and couldn't fully understand what Reve was explaining, just a little bit of a background on this is this Reve started with my voice is reverberating. I don't know. Maybe somebody needs to turn off their microphone.
Maybe it's
Yeah,
mine.
it would be
Yeah.
nice if everybody could mute himself if not speaking. That would be very nice.
Yeah. So what I was saying, just for the benefit of everyone who couldn't maybe follow Reve because of the connection issues, is this Reve started this entire thing from the scalping EA because he was looking to find not a better, but maybe a different way of entering into the market. And what he has eventually ended up developing is some sort of a market bias, which you can see on the screen right now, which is based on the highs and lows again, on the break of candles. He has this algorithm which develops these channels in a way of where the highs are and where the lows that he wants to trade in the market. Now he's using on the trades that are taken here the same concept as in the scalping EA, which is a very quick and aggressive trailing of the stop loss once the price moves into profit. But one of the things which I have been saying for the last 2-3 weeks, but I unfortunately haven't found the time to really take a look at or try and put my ideas around it, is what I see in his market bias. If you could zoom out a little bit, Reve, is I see this as a very good swing trading strategy, which is wherever I see that his market bias is broken, normally the trends continues for a very long time. It's normally a good entry if you can scale in as well, which is you enter into, and I'll have to put my head around, okay, well, how can we scale in on this? What would be a good point to add more positions to a winning trade, and then maybe trail the stop loss in a slightly different manner, maybe on the last lows or last highs if it's a sell. But overall, this what I find interesting, because the scalping I already have and the trailing stop loss I already have, so that I have tried on many. I love the way that his market bias at least visually looks, and these channels. So this is my commentary, but unfortunately, I mean, stupid enough, I've been making these comments for the last 3 weeks, and I don't get around to actually putting my fingers on the keyboard and actually trying the idea. But I've been following it very closely. One question to you, Reve, which is within the community where you now have this channel for the Barbarian EA. How are you finding that, as like, okay, people are supporting and contributing and working together, or is it more of a you post and people question and just ask questions more and more? I don't know.
I want to jump in before he answers, because I have the feeling that he is like a lone barbarian warrior. He wants to fix everything himself. And I would be a little bit pissed of some attitudes from the people in the chat. But right now, I would love to have more like teamwork together. But right now, I think it's more like his baby, and he wants to fix everything and stuff like this. I just want to jump in before he answers, but maybe he can.
No, and this is why I asked the question as well, because I also saw in that channel is like, well, it's a bombardment of, like, okay, well, the gentleman is sharing something. Let's give him time and space to come up with his ideas, rather than continuously asking questions. And
yeah, I was a little bit pissed. Last time there was people. I mean, he stated that it is USD JPY EA and it is just for this, and it's okay to test things and think outside the box and everything. But if then come people into this channel and like kind of complain that it doesn't work on Euro USD, if I would share something I was working on and asking people to contribute and to help me, and even if it's just a back test and forward test on some brokers, and then somebody comes and says it doesn't work on Euro USD, even if I stated it's not for Euro USD, I personally would be a little bit pissed, but okay, that's just me.
And this probably also, go ahead, Reve.
Yeah. Actually, it's a free board, you know. Everybody can do everything, but I expected to see this because I have experience like this, but I would like to see what happened when we try to work on one project. You know, actually, it's a really good experience for me to see all of these questions, all of this kind of exploring, because you know, trading, in my opinion, is a lonely journey. Yeah, you know, you need to do it by yourself eventually. But yeah, it's good. It's a good one. Let's keep it up.
What I wanted to say, and with my first statement was like, for me personally, I would really like to contribute. Also code-wise and stuff like this. I said I had a little less time to watch into the code lately, but if you want to delegate some task like this doesn't work, and we've set up Notion for this, I would like to get a little bit more into the teamwork attitude, so you don't have to do everything yourself, and there are people who want really to support you and not just ask for the set file. That is what I wanted to say.
Which I fully second upon, and this would be my suggestion, Reve, as well. And again, Reve, this is your part of the channel, so you are the owner of that, so you decide how you want to run it. But it's just my own thoughts which I'm sharing, and as Pawn is sharing as well, which is one is part where, okay, well, if somebody is trying, maybe it can take a little bit of load off you to work on a certain part, then maybe that can be a good idea. But also, no matter what we try, there will always be people in the channel, in the YouTube, who are only there to look for, give me something that should work, and if it doesn't work, why does it not work? Best to just ignore them.
It's your fault.
Yeah, it's your fault somehow.
It must work.
Yeah. So
I have it for free. It must work. Why doesn't printed money right now?
Exactly.
Yeah,
so it's very, I mean, from my own experience of the previous Discord channel that I had for free, there were probably like 1,200 people, all looking for the next set file and all looking for the next EA download. And this is why I moved to a more closed off community. But it's difficult to completely fend off these people. So they will always be there. But my suggestion would be not to waste your time answering those. Just completely ignore them. Maybe just give them a thumbs up for their amazing contribution of nitpicking on stuff and not contributing anything, because otherwise it will eventually frustrate you.
What I wanted to also to state out is that for me personally, I'm very glad that we have this community and we don't have to go on a journey ourselves. And I mean, if you are a little bit smart, then you can decide what people to pick out of this pool of people that are there on the Discord. And I think they can grow some big things out of it. Yeah.
None that.
Yeah, go on.
I mean, I was just going to say to Pon that, yeah, I mean, I fully resonate with you, Pon. I think I probably need to start looking at, okay, well, if you're not a good contributor to the society or the Discord channel, then maybe you don't belong here. And start kicking out people. I
would love to see that you at least kick out people who are just advertising some shady stuff and
exactly.
Like this
no,
guy
I'm starting.
I mean, you know that Discord communities are they attract scam people. At least if you have 100 plus people, there are scammers, and I wouldn't leave those posts public for like days or weeks with the thought that maybe it's not scam and maybe it's intended in a good way. It's not.
Yeah, no, I mean, very true. I think I'm very true, and I think I'm a little bit too lenient from a perspective. And again, it's a cultural thing as well, which
you
is
are too nice. You are too nice.
Yeah, not okay, maybe nice,
Yeah.
but it's also it's like, look, I come from a culture where, I mean, you're my guest is a very big thing. It's like you're my
Yeah,
guest.
but if I'm your guest and I shit direct, I come to your door and I don't put out my shoes, and then I shit on your floor. I am still your guest, or do you want me to leave? You know, I mean.
Yeah. No, very, very true. It's like, okay, and it's also, I mean, one of the things which I absolutely do not want this to become a Telegram channel again, where it's just download of EAs and people posting this EA and that EA and have you tested this EA? In a way, fine, it helps or it adds some value, but in totality, it completely changes the vibe of the entire thing. I mean, we're here to work on ideas together rather than just dumping code files anywhere. So you're completely right, Pon. I will start to look at or be a little bit more not so lenient in my
I mean,
hospitality.
it's pretty nice to have 400 or 500 people who contribute a little share every month and shut up. I mean, most people don't write everything, but we don't have to be nice on people who are really just where you can see the intention is not good. You know, I mean, they don't belong there. We won't have complete coding. Everybody is dedicated community because you have some kind of, which is okay. Clickbait stuff like win rate stuff on videos, and you will always attract those kind of people, and it's okay that they are there if they are silent or just ask stupid questions sometimes, but if they start posting some shit that lures people into Telegram groups or that are obviously scam, like then just kick them out.
Yeah, sure. No, in fact, let's take it offline and let's come up with a way to clean up the society a little bit. It's becoming a little bit too big as well, and when you have bigger communities, these kind of things start.
Let's make the purge.
Yeah, let's make the purge. Thank you, Reve, for sharing with us the stuff, and also, I mean, all the stuff that you're sharing in the community. Extremely thankful for that. Extremely thankful for that.
Thanks to you, Jay. You have great generosity, I guess, and people, in my opinion, people need to be very thankful for this information, because it's based on thinking that I think I owe you, I owe this community, and it is a great mechanism, great information, knowledge, and you're welcome, brother.
For me, I personally must say, if I would be completely lonely on this journey, and if I wouldn't have come up to maybe this community, I don't know if I still would be interested or pushed by coding things and be in the market, because of course you don't go into trading and be successful. You have to eat shit and to take losses and make your experience and all this stuff. And if it would be really a lonely road without anybody, I don't know if I would still be there or if I would be off, or I don't know. But this community and the people I've met here so far keep getting me coding stuff and trying stuff, and I like it.
No, and same for me as well, which is like, okay, well, me and Vajat have been tucked away in a corner, always doing stuff ourselves, and now finding a larger community of people, like-minded people, which we can call like a larger family in a way. Now, in a way, I mean, I have now friends everywhere, so wherever I decide to travel next, there is somebody to go meet as well.
If you're ever in Berlin, tell me. And
no, I'm gonna be in.
I'm
gonna be in July in Belgium and Netherlands, and maybe, I mean, Vajat probably will also join.
Let's make a meeting.
Yeah. we'll shoot a song.
Yeah, you play guitar and Bart and I we gonna sing.
All right, guys. I mean, unless there is something else we want to discuss. And Vajat needs to hold true to his word today. And look, I have been pressurizing him quite a lot, and I always bring this up in this meeting as well because I need a little bit more push to him. It's like he's very elusive. It's like catching a hen.
No, I think just like last time when I made a commitment, I made sure I released the video, which obviously you didn't. Like you think I didn't upload it on time. It was 28th Feb and you uploaded it on 1st March. According to
You, when you were here, I showed you. I mean, on my computer it says 1st of March, so
it doesn't matter. On my computer it said 28th Feb, so that's all that matters.
Okay, guys, keep at it. I mean, I will be probably sharing an AI-related video as well, hopefully in the next coming days. And this would be my next goal is to get Pawn to start working on AI as well.
I work on AI. I don't know. I'm not really into. I work with AI every day, but I don't know if I want to incorporate it into my trading strategies right now because, yeah, as I said, I'm more the simple guy, and the simple things work best for me. So right now, I don't need any AI model for trading.
Yeah.
I'm interested, and I'm curious what is possible and stuff like this.
But I will say I never set for myself soft standards and soft targets. So yeah, that's a target for me.
Okay, all right, I understand.
And Pawn, do let me know whenever you want to catch up separately.
Yeah, we have to in maybe the next days. I'll write you.
All right, guys, if no more questions, comments, then enjoy a very nice evening and talk to you in 14 days.
See you guys. Bye.
It was fun again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
And
Thank you, guys.
see you in Discord.
Thanks, bye. Bye-bye.
Yes.
Bye.
Yeah,
Thanks, bye bye.
Bye.